What if I told you the greatest video game series has had a multiplayer for 20 years and not everybody knows that it even exists? On top of that, they haven't even played or know that there's a new one coming. Well, today we're going to be covering the brand new game that's going to be coming out for the multiplayer of Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Metal Gear series, and to me, it's the greatest ever. And there's many reasons for that. First and foremost, it pioneered a genre, but it also pioneered a lot of mechanics that nowadays are used and are standard in video games. And that being said, I do believe that this remake is just claiming its throne as the greatest series of all time. You're going to be playing Snake Eater, considered one of the greatest games of all time. Story-wise, gameplay, and overall experience. But this game also came with a multiplayer when it released on the Subsistence version. And now I want to talk about what they're doing now in the future, as we've been covering it a bit, but I'm going to be doing something special today and just diving into some thoughts about what I think could happen in the future, hopefully with this multiplayer. And if you're somebody who doesn't care for multiplayer, it's okay, but you still have a listen, because we're going to be basically exploring some of the mechanics that already exist within this game and then possibilities of what can come from that. I recently did a video showcasing some of the multiplayer mechanics that might end up in this story mode, which, if it's true, it's going to be outrageously insane and expiring. That doesn't mean that that's the case. It's just more of an exploring video about what could be within the story. And today is the reverse of that, where we check to see if some of this stuff can come into the multiplayer. And so personally, I have designed a video game that I'm working on as far as the concept and writing everything for it, but I haven't publicly put it out. So there's some ideas that I won't share about what I want, but we're going to explore the multiplayer. All right, first things first that you got to know, yes, Metal Gear is a stealth game, and there was the multiplayer that had stealth elements, but it was some action as well. And the developers, which you're going to see in this video, explained that they didn't want to bring back the traditional multiplayer, which had team deathmatch and various matches in it that I actually enjoyed. But they basically said that they're doing something new and different. As you can see, this character here transformed from a mud texture to grass. And there's other examples of this existing. But they basically said they wanted to take away the regular traditional team deathmatch style and add a hide and seek style mode where one team is hunting for the other. They did not get into details on how this mode works, and it's all speculation, and I do not want to mislead anybody and act like this is a full coverage of what is coming, because they haven't given those exact details. They just explained that they love the series, that they know that stealth hasn't been the main focus on the multiplayer, and they wanted to try and change that. And you can see with some of this texture elements really make it interesting about what is possible in this game. And so now, if we're not playing a traditional team deathmatch style and there's more hiding and different things, my curiosity is, how will that play? What will the features be within the game? And of course, everybody has their opinions on what they like or dislike for it, but I'm curious on if you're interested in these ideas. Please feel free to share what you think as well and you want to see. I know without a doubt most of us loved Metal Gear Online 2, and I will get into that just so you guys can know I love that too. And you know, the dream of having it would be amazing. For those that are new, I want to briefly go into MGO 2 and talk about a little bit of the history. So MGO released with Metal Gear Solid 3. It was part 1. It was the first original. And then the next big iteration is MGO2. You're going to be watching highlights of that one. This came with Metal Gear Solid 4, Sons of the Patriots. AKA, I'm sorry about that. But basically, this one right here had a lot of tactical elements where the characters weren't moving too fast. They couldn't really just sprint in crazy succession. They had to be tactical, and you had to, you know, play the field, hold corners, and do a bunch of different things that were really nice. A lot of players that are skilled will run around still, but again, the best tactical players will hold corners and take advantage of situations with headshot skills. But there's a lot of stealth elements within it, but that wasn't the main focus of the game unless you were playing a specific mode. And there was plenty of modes where you were able to do some stealth in it. So being able to be a team with stealth camo and then trying to grab an item and bring it back. That's kind of one of the modes. And then the other mode where you can play as Snake while two teams play team deathmatch against each other. There will be a Snake in the map trying to take out a soldier, take them down, and steal their dog tags. If Snake took out 3 soldiers, he wins the game. So players can hunt down Snake, but also fight each other. And this is one of the best modes in the game. Personally, I love this mode the most. It was just an exciting thing to kind of have Snake within the game. And to me, I do believe that this new Fox Hunt is gonna have something close to this. If you're watching this and you've been watching my channel, you know that I talked about Fox Hunt and I said I'm gonna stay open-minded, even though I did want a traditional MGO. It's okay if they make something amazing. And you can see right here, this feature is Snake grabbing a soldier, and this is a part of the game, and he's gonna get dog tags from them, and then he could win the game. And that's a feature that this game did very well, better than any other game mode when it comes to true Metal Gear style. Now, that being said, I want to explore what this Fox Hunt can be and get into what I think might happen in the long run. So we've seen the Phantom Pain come out, and this one also had some type of stealth elements when you played Cloak and Dagger, pretty much a mode where you had the stealth camo and you were capable of invading an enemy's base, taking them out, and going forward. But a lot of the other modes were pretty much like team deathmatch. So a lot of players didn't play as stealthy, which is totally fine. It's an online mode. You can play how you feel. But the rewards for a stealth game to have stealth elements is important. And so that's why I want to kind of give you guys my ideas and share what I think could be for this next Fox Hunt, the possibility of what they're doing and what I would like to see. First of all, I would like to see MGO2 features return, where you have custom modes, custom lobbies. You can have the in-game tournaments and survival for cool rewards. All the stuff that MGO2 offered feature-wise, I think is what made it one of the best, in my opinion. And then, of course, having the different kind of modes in the game is more of a conversation. The developers in this video that I'm showcasing in the background expressed that they love MGO and they listening to the community, and they have these regular shows called Hotline, Metal Gear Hotline. And it basically gives you community feedback where they tell you the things that they're looking forward to and that they're focused on. So it's not like they don't listen to the community. So I would recommend you guys stay in touch with them, leave some comments in their official threads so that they can go ahead, take this feedback. As you can see here from the surveys, this is the information of what players want to see and what they want to talk about and so on. For me personally, if we're going to do Fox Hunt and I'm going to accept that it's not the traditional Metal Gear Online, then I would want them to make it something very interesting. A battle royale can be one of the most phenomenal things for a stealth game if done right. it's still going to have your run and gun when you see someone. But if someone can stealth camo in a battle royale style of a game, that could be insane. And Fox Hunt has a chance of being a battle royale. Whether you like battle royales or not, and you don't think that's the best direction, this is a phenomenal thing if you think about how most battle royales are just run and gun. But if you had the stealth camo outfits where you can just turn into grass or, become some mud and look at the exact same way, you're going to be able to have a phenomenal dynamic world that you can do some really cool things in. And here's the thing, one of the biggest critiques that I said about the new feature of turning into a prop, it's not really props, it's mostly grass and mud. And I don't know how hard it's going to be after 20 hours of me playing to know who's mud or who's real. So I'm going to pretty much figure it out right away. I'll study it, as a matter of fact. And then, maybe that would be an obsolete option of stealth. But with the stealth camo and other features in a battle royale, it can get insane and intense like no other battle royale has done in previous years. And then you imagine with this Fulton ability, where if you don't know, there's an extract ability to extract players. Just imagine in a battle royale, you extract somebody. That type of feature, really dynamic, and I would absolutely love to see how this could work. And I'm all for it. The question of mechanics, the game is playing somewhat like Phantom Pain while keeping true to the traditional Snake Eater. We're watching a little bit of footage that we'll skip through and explain that MGO2 had all these very cool modes that you'll probably love dearly if it was brought to the game. And the first thing I want to talk about is the number one mode that I think most of us, would want to see. So just imagine you are playing a battle royale or an extraction shooter, one or the other, and then you have this different modes for Snake, which is the best in the game, where there is a snake trying to extract also. So every once in a while, somebody will end up being Snake, and they'll have that type of scenario where they can extract players while playing a battle royale or extraction. And then imagine a game where they can feature a lot of the key characters. So somebody can play as Ocelot, somebody else can play as every single character in the whole series. And this is something that the previous MGO games has done, but just imagine what it would be like if they did do that. These are the kind of features and elements that I would love to see. I can't say that it's going to happen or that it's the best option for them, because we don't know, what they're doing and how much time they have to make these things. To make an extraction shooter, it would have to have a meaningful progression system and a game loop that can work. Same thing with Battle Royale. As long as it's fun, that's always what we play for. But of course, having other things within the game to keep you going, which would be amazing. So those are just some of the kind of things that I'm thinking about an extraction shooter or a battle royale. And of course, I could get in depth and go deep down the rabbit hole about what that looks like. But today we're going to keep it basic and just give you the idea. As a matter of fact, I decided to make a video about extracting and battle royale. So you should go check that out. See you there. It's popping up now. Peace.